From the very first moment Japanese pilots saw it in the sky, they knew this aircraft was different. It did not look like anything they had trained to fight against. Two long engines, a strange twin-boom shape, and a sound that many veterans later described as unsettling. For Japan, a nation that believed speed, maneuverability, and honor in the air would secure victory, the arrival of the P-38 Lightning planted a quiet but deep fear. Not fear born from rumors, but fear born from combat. This was not just another American airplane. It was a machine that challenged everything Japanese aviation believed to be true. During the early years of the Pacific War, Japanese pilots held a strong sense of confidence. Their aircraft, especially the Zero, were lighter, more agile, and had proven deadly against Western planes. In many early encounters, Japanese forces dominated the skies, but that confidence began to crack when the P-38 Lightning appeared. Unlike previous American fighters, the P-38 was fast, heavily armed, and capable of flying higher and farther than anything Japan had expected. It could appear suddenly, strike with precision, and disappear before Japanese pilots could respond effectively. One of the greatest shocks came from the P-38's speed at high altitude. Japanese aircraft were designed for maneuverability, not for sustained high-altitude combat. The P-38, with its turbo-supercharged engines, thrived where Japanese fighters struggled. Pilots reported seeing the Lightning dive from above, firing devastating bursts, then climbing back to safety with ease. This ability made traditional Japanese combat tactics less effective and, in many cases, completely useless. Japanese intelligence quickly realized this was not a coincidence. The P-38 was engineered with a different philosophy. While Japan focused on lightweight construction and pilot skill, the United States focused on power, protection, and firepower. The Lightning carried a concentrated nose-mounted weapon system, allowing pilots to fire accurately from long distances. Japanese pilots, accustomed to close-range dogfights, suddenly found themselves under attack before they could even engage. Captured reports and pilot testimonies reveal that Japanese airmen began to treat the P-38 with caution. Some described it as unpredictable, others as relentless. What frightened them most was not just its firepower, but its endurance. The P-38 could escort bombers deep into Japanese-controlled territory, something earlier American fighters could not do. This meant there was no longer a safe zone, no distance that guaranteed protection. The psychological impact was significant. Japanese pilots were trained to believe in aerial superiority and personal honor in combat. Facing an enemy aircraft that refused to fight on traditional terms was deeply unsettling. The P-38 did not turn tightly like a Zero, but it did not need to. It attacked on its own terms, using speed and altitude as weapons. This forced Japanese pilots into defensive positions, something they were not accustomed to. Another factor that intensified Japan's fear was the aircraft's role in targeted missions. The P-38 was involved in some of the most critical operations of the Pacific War, including long-range interceptions and high-value targets. When Japanese command realized how versatile the Lightning was, it became clear that this was not just a fighter, but a strategic tool capable of shifting the balance of air power. Even maintenance crews and engineers in Japan took notice. Reports indicated admiration mixed with concern. The complexity of the P-38's design showed a level of industrial capacity Japan struggled to match at that stage of the war. This realization created anxiety beyond the cockpit, reaching deep into military leadership. By the later stages of the war, the P-38 had earned a reputation. Japanese pilots did not underestimate it. They studied it, respected it, and, in many cases, avoided it when possible. Fear does not always mean panic. Sometimes it means recognition of a superior threat. And that was the truth Japan faced in the skies of the Pacific. In the end, the P-38 Lightning symbolized a turning point. It represented the moment Japan realized that air superiority was no longer guaranteed by tradition or bravery alone. Technology, strategy, and industrial strength had changed the rules of war. And for many Japanese pilots, the sight of the twin-boom silhouette against the sky was a reminder that the air war had entered a new and far more dangerous phase.